Alright, so I believe last time we got some downtime done. Adrian spent time with his kinfolk. Isaac spent time with his family. Laz planned his big performance with his mentor. And Heath got to have a one-on-one chat with his cousin. And it is now the day of the big moot. As everyone is, as the four of you wake up in Adrian's house, it is the morning of the big moot. As everyone is starting to converge together, rather than the rising sun. Everybody starts to gather around over in one of the warehouses that's over by the docks. The same warehouse that you all went to right before you went on your big mission. And the space has been specifically prepared for the occasion. You have kinfolk standing watch outside. Laz, you recognize some of the Bonar kinfolk that have gathered in one of the parks on the way over as they prepare their own celebration as sort of a distraction to draw attention away from this gathering. And there are also other kinfolk that kind of surround the perimeter and just to keep watch and not draw too much suspicion. Mostly some of the kinfolk that are part of the police force in the city. And as everyone starts to gather, you do see the leaders of the Sept, two of them being Margaret, the Sept leader, and then the Master of the Rite, Mary, or Moon's Shadow, along with some others. And once everybody is gathered together, Margaret addresses the crowd and says, because we are a city sept, and we cannot truly be ourselves in front of humans, we are going to go and celebrate our moot in the Umbra, where we can take any form that we wish. And Moon's Shadow, the Master of the Rite, opens the way into the Umbra for everybody, and she opens up the portal with the help of some of the other Thurges to open the way for everybody else. And as everyone steps through and starts crossing over through the gauntlet, the barrier between the physical and the spiritual world, some of you do get strands of some of you do get strands of spider-like webbing on you as you cross over, but all in all, everybody crosses over just fine. And as everyone is getting sort of reorganized again, you see some of the other Garou in the Sept, they shift into their Lupus form. You see a few others shift into their Krynos form, where they're more comfortable. Some of the Metis shift into their Krynos form, and there's a small number of them in the Sept. One of them wears a blindfold over their eyes. Another has this kind of toughened hide instead of fur, and there's probably one or two others. And while everybody's getting comfortable in their preferred forms, Myrtle finds you in the gathering and asks you, "Hey, Laz, are you ready?" Right, Laz says, "As ready as I'll ever be." And you see Myrtle smile and give a nod, and she says, "All right, well, once everything's organized and once everybody's crossed over, once everybody has crossed over, we're going to be heading over to the park, and that's where we're going to have our performance, and all the other packs are going to have their deeds recognized as well. So we should probably go ahead and of everybody else and make sure we've got all our lines straightened out." All right, so Myrtle is gonna go ahead and steal Laz from the group to lead the way ahead, and Margaret starts. Margaret and the other elders of the Sept start directing everybody towards the park, towards the center of the city, to have everyone's recent deeds and renown recognized. And as everybody makes their way over to the park, the city in the city in the Umbra is just a maze of spider webs as well. The city is a maze of brain fart. The city is a maze of steampunk like structures as all of you see spiders skittering around across power lines, and you see even the spiritual representation of the trolley cars zooming past. They're like part trolley, part spider as they skitter by down the middle of the road on big spider legs. And occasionally you'll see maybe the occasional animal spirit. Like there's probably like a bunch of rats scurrying around in an alley. Probably some cockroach spirits, and the occasional like cat or raccoon spirit. The main park of the city it's almost like a breath of fresh air from the clean and orderly spider webs, and yeah, it's the central park is like a breath of fresh air, even though the grass is trimmed down and the trees are set up in a way that's more cultivated than naturally grown. It's just a little piece of the wilderness in this city that's basically just suffocated with man-made buildings and spider webs on the spiritual side. And once everybody is gathered around, Myrtle and Laz Myrtle and Laz are going to have their performance first. So give me just one moment to pull something up really quick. I just need to double check what dice you need to roll as.
Why he double checks, Adrian's gonna, well, before they even go, he's gonna make sure everybody's got everything dedicated to him. I'm not sure how the Stepped runs the show, but usually people carry weapons. I mean, Garou always carry weapons, so he's got his guns with him. You never know. A lot of moots end up into fights anyway, so he's helping walk them through the city with Isaac and going to the park. Yep, waiting for the fun.
Oh yeah. For example, anytime a bunch of Garou get together, there's a chance that something could break out into a fight because some have more rage than others, or even sometimes somebody might just be carrying just a whole bunch of rage and somebody like says something wrong and they flip out. Like for having like your deeds recognized, at least from how the game that I play in does it. Other people might heckle your character or make fun of them as the Galliard's talking about like what you've been up to, and when that happens, it's usually like a humiliating or embarrassing thing, and you'll do like a rage roll and all that fun stuff.
Well, on top of that, there's challenges. I mean, a lot of the challenges are very physical. Fight to first blood or whoever gets knocked out first. These kind of rules, and
Yeah, that's
there's
good.
also if you question the wrong, like if Adrian went up and questioned the honor of Heath's cousin, it would probably end up with Adrian getting shot over honor. Yeah, honor is a very, very big thing in this society. It's just as big as samurai. Yeah, so Adrian always says, if you make sure you know damn sure that you're right before you question another Garu's honor, because if you're wrong, you're probably gonna die.
All right, Laz. So it looks like it's gonna be a charisma and rituals roll. And then looks like the difficulty of the rite is normally 4, but because Myrtle is helping you out, it's gonna be a difficulty 3. And then I was peeking over at your sheet, and it looks like you just need to roll 7 dice. Yeah, charisma and rituals. Yep, 7. All right, so Laz, you got 4 successes. All right, yeah. So Laz, you get 4 successes. Your performance with Myrtle is an amazing opening act as the two of you deliver this poem of the pack's deeds so far, just going back and forth, and as a little surprise that Myrtle had prepared, she even had some spirits of performance and art called in as a physical representation of the events. So the two of you are narrating what's happening in this poem, and the spirits basically take the form of everybody involved in your adventures so far, and the spirits perform in front of everybody as the two of you narrate and describe what's happening. And it's everybody's super impressed, and yeah, everybody's super impressed. And when you're done, there's an applause through the crowd, and as Myrtle kind of steps aside to give you your moment to bask in the applause, she shoots you this kind of big grin, and she's very proud of you, Laz. And after that amazing opening act, everybody, all the following Galliards and their packs that come and step forward, they can't match up to that performance. So you're definitely the talk of the talk of the hour.
When he's finished, as they're clapping, Adrian leans in towards Isaac and Heath and, God damn, he can even make us 3 look good.
And I thought it was an possibility there, honestly.
I don't know about you two, but I'm always good.
Just tell yourself that, and you'll believe it, I'm sure.
They call me Laz for a reason.
No comment.
He leans into Isaac. Okay, you looked good. He made me look good, and we're just gonna let Heath think that, yeah.
Works for me.
Yep.
So now what?
Well, as the rest of the packs have their deeds recognized, that's when various games and activities start to be organized. There's a few different things you guys can get up to. There's a few brain fart. But yeah, everybody starts to kind of spread out and do their own thing as they, celebrate, get together, and swap stories. And there's a group of Galliards that are having a storytelling contest. Some of the more like the Aruns and more physically built Garou are having these kind of mock trials of combat, and Heath, you see your cousin descends from above, join in on this brain fart again. But Heath, you see your cousin head towards what the other Garou that are having these kind of mock trials of combat to test each other's strength. There's other games of tug of war, parkour racing, and a whole bunch of other things too. And then you guys also see some other Garou are kind of cross back over into the physical world to have a few drinks at the Rising Sun as well. And Adrian, you notice that the Master of the Rite, one of your fellow Shadow Lords, Moon's Shadow, she's been looking kind of. She looks like something is on her mind.
Okay.
As she splits off from the rest and kind of socializes a little bit, but it looks like she kind of wanders off to think about something.
Okay, so he told Heath to go hang out with his cousin. Hey, go watch what your cousin does. I mean, of course, it's not that Heath needs to be his cousin, but it'll kind of show you what people are going to expect you to do as an Auron. And then, well, he goes around to the other pack leaders and congratulates them on their victories. He listened to what all the Galliards had to say, and talk to acquaintances, but never really having a friend there. And when he sees Moon's shadow walk off, he is curious enough to walk near her after a bit and stop when he's like towards her side, but just looking in the same direction as hers, just looking around and says, something on your mind, Ryan?
And Mary, Moon's shadow, she gives a small nod and she says, I heard that Kara went off to be with her mentor. It's just something I've been thinking about since Margaret told me yesterday.
Yeah,
I'm,
it's been on my mind too.
I know that you're probably out of the loop on Black Fury gossip, but I've heard a few stories about her mentor, and Moonshadow pauses for a moment as she kind of gathers her thoughts, and she says, yeah, I respect her for escaping slavery and the things she did for the Underground Railroad and helping other slaves find their freedom. But, well, Margaret used to be packed with her, and, well, she was Margaret's Thurge before I joined their pack and came to the Sept.
Okay.
And she still has the respect of the Black Furies, but she has infamy to her reputation. Are you familiar with Greek mythology at all?
Yes, I've read Homer, the Odyssey, the Iliad.
Well, Kara's mentor, her deed name, well, she used to be known as the Eyes of Delphi. They said that she has visions from time to time, and apparently several years back, while her pack was in the Umbra, she decided to jeopardize their safety in order to uncover something or some kind of information. They call her Pandora's box now. And when she left Margaret's pack, she left to Strawberry and has been living on her own ever since. And, well, I don't know Kara's full story, but as far as I know, Kara was an orphan, and she was more or less raised by her mentor. I'm just worried, that's all.
Well, I can't rightly judge the actions of elders, even if they weren't elders at the time, but I mean, she took a risk. You and I, we're Shadow Lords. We understand it. Sometimes you have to take a risk. No risk, no reward. She took a risk. Her pack might not have liked it, but unless we know what the information is, and excuse me if I'm being too much of a philodox here, but unless we know what the information is that she was going after, I mean, I would assume she didn't put her entire pack in danger for the perfect recipe for the world's best cup of coffee. So whatever she got, whatever secrets she found, I just hope it was worth putting her pack in danger. As for Kara, she's a real simple type. Not a bad third. I actually wanted to ask you something about one of her and our interactions, but we'll talk about that later. But she does need more training. I don't know if it'd be best to teach her well in a pack or with a mentor. I'm not wise in such things. If you tell me to be worried about it, I'll be worried about it. If you want, in my pack's travels, if you want us to try and check on her every now and again, every time we're around Strawberry, we will. I can report back to you.
Yes, you're right. Every risk has its own reward. Maybe I'm just worried because I see some of myself in Kara when I was learning, when I was back before when I was a Cleoth. But
Well, if you see yourself in her, then I'm not worried about her. I think she'll turn out just fine.
yeah, and Moon's shadow laughs a little at that, and she says, "Well, if she comes to you asking for assistance with something that her mentor has been working on, I would just exercise some caution. It's rumors and gossip, but sometimes even the most experienced Thurges can be lured deeper into the Umbra than they are prepared for."
Yeah, yeah. And, well, they might be just rumors and talk, but we all know that all lies are based on truth at one point or another. So there's got to be something to the story. You keep a watchful eye, be careful, but if she asks for help, I'm going to have to give it.
Yes, I know. Just be as careful as you can be. Don't take any unnecessary risks.
Of course, of course. I'll definitely keep that in mind, and I'll keep my eye out whenever we see her. Keep my ear to the ground.
And she nods, and she looks back over her shoulder to where you can see a group of Garou leaping over rooftops in the umbral cityscape, racing each other. And Moon Shadow kind of looks over there and says, "Well, don't let me keep you from the rest of the moot."
It's fine, Raya. Trust me, I'm too damn weak to be jumping from rooftops. I'd slip and break my neck. I do have a question for a Shadow Lord Thurge, though.
Oh, what's your question?
Well, to add some truth to, or a little bit more depth to part of Laszlo's story. How was that, by the way? God damn, that man can write. Anyways, I went with Kara into the Umbra while Laz stayed with the horses and Heath and Isaac went to go talk to some men about possibly, who would be hiring poachers. When we went to the Umbra, we talked to a spirit at first, watched some things, and then I asked her, leading questions that brought us to looking for a crow spirit. The crow spirit led us to a bison spirit that led us to, and the rest of the story from there, freshly shifted Garou. But I don't know, am I reading too much into it? I kind of feel like the crow was put there by Grandfather Thunder. Am I trying to, am I just too wrapped up in the lore and not looking at the actual reality of things, or is this a blessing?
I believe it certainly could be a good omen from Grandfather Thunder, but also keep in mind it was also that umbral storm that rolled through was also a heavy thunderstorm. So
Grandfather Thunder has to keep us strong somehow.
that's true.
Okay, between you and me, to add a little bit more depth to the story, when Kara left, she said that a Korax came to her because of her work with the crow and gave her a talent.
Really now?
Yeah.
Well, perhaps that is a good sign from Grandfather Thunder.
What I was thinking.
I know crow spirits can be rather talkative. I could probably ask a few for you, but I know Grandfather Thunder prefers us to stand on our own feet. But I do believe it is a good omen.
Okay. I'm going to have to make some shrines at my house in the swamp, I think. Thank you for your time and your question, or your answers.
Of course, little shadow. If you ever have any more questions, I'm always on the sept.
Well, I'll need to. I don't have a Thurge anymore. I appreciate it. Enjoy the moot.
And you too.
I'll try. And he gives a slight wave and a little bit of a head bow and turns around and walks off. And definitely glad he skirted around telling her that Heath had the talent in his possession.
Well, Heath is the one that Kara gave it to.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
sometimes those elders will walk around saying, "No, you don't deserve that talent. You need to give it to me. I'll give it back when you've earned it." No.
But yeah, after a while you do see Moon's shadow rejoin everyone else at the Moot, as after she's had time to think some things over. And there are a few groups of philodoxes too that are practicing debating parts of the litany with each other, and basically practicing how to carry a good debate and sway others to their opinion. And Adrian, you can even see that there's a small audience of volunteers that vote for who's the most persuasive and other things like that. So there's stuff for Adrian to get up to as well. Heath, are you joining your cousin over by the makeshift ring?
Yes, after he was suggested to go and watch, he moseyed his way out towards the battleground, and he began to observe what was going on.
Okay, yeah, you see two Garou in glabro form, just taking swings at each other. It's a fist fight as they're just beating into each other. And as the fight unfolds, one starts to get the advantage and knocks the other unconscious, or knocks the other nearly unconscious. And the Garou on the losing side, just before he starts to lose consciousness, you see his muscles tense up as his full body tenses. His eyes flash this shade of red, and he goes into full Krynos, and that's when all the others observing just dogpile on top of him until he calms down after a few moments. And as he's, pulled away to take a break, you see Hans kind of playfully chuckle and say, "No need to be a sore loser." And the Garou that is being dragged away just kind of gives him a look, but as he steps aside, and Hans sees you approach, Heath, and says, "Oh, cousin, come to join in on the fights."
Yeah, I want to see how this works before I join in, though. I've never been to one of these before, so this excuse me, goodness, this is all new to me, though.
Wow. These are mock fights to test our skills against one another. For today, it seems that it's glabro form only. No claws, no gifts, just a good old man-to-man fist fight. First one unconscious loses.
Fist fight, huh? Alright, I'm game. Worst comes to worst, I get a little nap after all this.
Well, that's the spirit.
So, how do I sign up?
And as soon as you ask that, Hans, you see him shift and grow a little bit larger as he shifts into his own glabro form, and he shouts, "Oh, just jump in!" and he lifts you up and tosses you into the ring.
What? And as he's being yeeted into the arena, since he saw and was told that he needed to be in glabro form, he shifts as fast as he can.
All right, and then as you jump into the ring, there's the referee. The referee announces you stepping into the ring, and another Garou jumps over the makeshift fence, and she's in her Krynos form, but she shifts down into her glabro form, and you kind of recognize her as one of the Garou that Laz's mentor hangs around with, and the referee announces her and says, "Blind Mutt's Bluff has entered the ring." And you hear Hans behind you say, "She's blind, cousin. If you lose this fight, well..."
Not a word, Hans. Not a damn word. Remember, I did not walk into this battle ring. You tossed me into this, so we're doing this. And he looks at what was her name again? I actually
Her name is Marie, but her deed name is Blind Mutt's Bluff, and you see that she's wearing a blindfold.
Blind Mutt's
Bluff. Yeah.
Oh, Bluff. And he lets out a sigh. Nope. He lets out a lot of sigh and says, "All right, we can do this. Ready to go?"
And she nods and says, "I'm ready."
And go ahead.
All right,
Excuse me.
and rather than a proper fight, because I didn't really have a lot of time to prepare, we're gonna do a basically a strength and brawl check and see what happens.
Okay. Let's see. 7.
Okay, yeah, I forgot to mention the difficulty is going to be 6. So
Okay.
so I believe the 10 is 2, 3, 4. All right, 4. All right, then I'll just roll for her here and we'll see what happens. Oh, 1, 2. All right, so the dice are on your side, Heath, as the two of you fist fight, and you trade blows for a while until you get the upper hand and you catch her arm, and then, well, how would you like Heath to win the fight? What's your finishing move?
My finishing move, since he caught her fist, he pulls her in, and then he basically uppercuts her into the air.
Okay. Yeah, and as your fist makes contact with her jaw, you can hear just the snap of her jawbone breaking as she's sent flying backwards and almost head over heels, and she lands on her back. And there's a few cheers as the fight is declared over, and Hans is just doing this loud clapping, and he says, and he exclaims, "That's my cousin right there, the pride of the Silver Fangs."
Meanwhile, he's just a little out of breath and a little concerned because he did hear that loud crack of the jaw, and he walks over to Miss Blind Butt. I was about to call her Blind Butt Muff. Blind Mutt's Bluff.
Yep.
Why do you have to do this fucking wordplay there?
I'm sorry.
And he walks over and he stretches his I guess, well, he's still his hand. We're still kind of humanish, I think.
Yeah, kind of like
Big meaty.
Yeah,
Almost like Neanderthals.
yeah,
There you
almost like Neanderthals, like imagine early horror movie Wolfman kind of.
Oh, okay. So he extends his hand out, first off, to see if she's actually like conscious, since he can't see her eyes,
Yeah,
and secondly, to try to help her up.
yeah, she stirs back into consciousness after a few moments, and you watch as her broken jaw starts to mend itself after a few moments, and she kind of moves her hand to set it back into place, and once she hears you step closer, she kind of reaches a hand up blindly to grab yours and pulls herself up. And she says, "Good fight."
Yeah, you too. You had me almost there, honestly. Thank you for the fight.
You're welcome. Yeah, I had you a few times, but it's my fault for lowering my guard around somebody without their deed name yet. And she laughs a little bit.
And Heath just takes it in stride and says, "I will be too, don't worry." And as they finish talking, Heath looks at Hans and says, "Would you do me, wow, I can't talk. Would you do me the honor of getting into a match with me, Hans?"
And Hans does look a little surprised, but he more than eagerly jumps over the fence of the ring and says, "Of course, anything for my cousin." As Zest gets into a fight that
He's not gonna win.
no, and Hans shifts back into his, well, let's just say he stayed in his Glabro form. But yeah, so Zest, go ahead and make your roll.
All right, let's see. Let's see how bad he's gonna kill me. Let's see.
All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So you get 4 successes. Hans is gonna roll his dice, and he has
A big
his
chunk here.
max dice. He's a big shot hero. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So he has you beat. And it's Hans does not go easy on you, as he lets you have the first few swings, and then he goes full on, like he beats you down really hard. He I don't know the names of any wrestling moves, but
He fucking suplexes me, doesn't he?
yeah, basically suplex. He tosses you around the ring for a little bit, and then when he gauges that you've probably had enough, he goes in for the full suplex, dislocates both your shoulders, probably like breaks your arm at some point, and he plays rough. He doesn't kid around, and the fight is over probably within 5 minutes. And as you're as you're recovering and you feel your bones kind of knit themselves back together, it's this kind of burning sensation as the nerves heal themselves, and Hans helps you set your shoulders back in place. And he says, "I'm sorry, cousin, if I held back, it wouldn't look good on me." And he whispers that in your ear before kind of giving you a hearty slap on the back.
And throughout the entire match, there was a change. I don't know what. It doesn't matter what your name is. It doesn't. There was like a small change, physically within Heath. He asked if I continue, even though he was clearly losing. He had this wide grin on his face, and every time that Hans knocked him down, he got up before he got fucking suplexed to death. And after he heard what Hans said, he just started out laughing, and he looked at Hans with a tear in his eye from laughing so hard. Says, "I see I still have a lot to learn before I could take you on."
Oh yeah, 15, 10, maybe 15 more years, you'll probably catch up to me in that time.
No matter how long it takes, I hope you're ready for a rematch one day.
Well, I'll always be ready.
And he feels this like rush of joy that he hasn't felt for a very long time, and he waits for his bones to mend themselves completely before jumping out of the corral. And he stretches and looks around for Adrian and Isaac.
Can I ask something about Hans?
Oh sure,
Could you roll his wits plus subterfuge if you have it?
I do not. I actually do not have a sheet prepared for him.
That's okay. That's okay. You can make up the number that you want.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna roll something. It's called Fatal Flaw.
Okay.
While they were fighting, I got 2 successes on it. Don't know if he could see a weakness or not in the way Hans was moving. It would have been better if Heath had been able to make the fight go a little bit longer. Don't get your ass kicked so quickly, Heath. Anyways, he just wanted to do Fatal Flaw. Just find one weakness in anything that Hans was doing.
Okay.
But I don't know. It's normally difficulty 6. I don't know how many successes he would have gotten on a wits plus subterfuge. So if 2 successes isn't enough, then Adrian didn't learn anything. But he was watching the fight while listening to the people debate behind him. And he motions Heath over when the fight's over, when he starts looking around, and he holds out like a handkerchief to him. Says, "You got a little bit of blood coming out of your mouth. You."
And then he thanks, and he just wipes his mouth,
No problem. He
and he hands back the handkerchief. Here you go.
takes it back. Do you actually enjoy doing that?
I never really thought about it, honestly. This is my first mood, after all. But
All right. Sorry to interrupt, but
Mhm.
I made up a number, and I guess Hans got 5 successes. So I'm guessing that would mean that Adrian doesn't find any weaknesses.
Yeah, he just doesn't see anything.
Yeah. So like, it just looks like Hans has combat honed to an art form. Like this man is just perfect in every way.
Fucking Silver Fang. Well, I mean, I'd imagine you've gotten into a fist fight before. It looked like you knew at least a little bit about what you were doing.
Oh, I got plenty of bar fights, but with
I've never
Hans,
been in a bar fight before.
you don't want to, honestly.
They don't look like fun to me.
Oh,
I
it's
think a little person like me get thrown into the ceiling fan or something. It'd suck.
it's. I never really thought about it, honestly, until now. But looking back on it then and now, I think I do enjoy it.
Well, that's good for you, not for me.
Thanks.
Well, you are an hour on after all. See, these guys back behind me, they're pretending to debate with one another, and I've been debating with myself on whether or not I should show them up or not.
Why not?
No, I mean, how much more honor and renown do we need? You heard what Laz said about us.
Yeah, I did, and I still can't. Anyway,
Hard to believe, isn't it?
yeah, it is hard to believe, honestly.
That dude, he stole the show.
He did steal the show, but I almost feel like he wasn't talking about us. That's the thing.
Yeah, I get that. I get that.
But
He glances around real quick and says, "Oh, by the way,
what's that?
I told one of the elders that Kara had a talon. That's the whistle she gave you?"
And Heath nodded and says, "Don't tell me I have to give it to her, do I?"
I did not tell her that she gave it to you. Don't tell anybody that you've got it. We can figure out what to do with that later as a pack. They don't need to know. The elders here don't need to know everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just letting you know.
Yeah.
Don't tell anybody, especially the Thurches, that you have that thing. They will want to take it from us, from you. I just don't tell anybody. I let it go as far as I needed some information about some spirits, and I let it go as far as the fact that I told her that Kara had been confronted with a Korax and that the Korax had given her a talon. I never said that she gave the talon to you. So for now, keep that
Kara-
thing a secret.
Yeah, Kara entrusted this to us, and I don't know. I have no fucking idea what any of this means to a degree, but I know that if Kara thought that we needed this, then
We probably need it.
it needs to stay with us.
Yeah.
Well, none of us know what it does, right?
I mean,
We're gonna
She
have to
says
find
it.
out
She
from
says that if we need help to blow the whistle and that the Korax will come. Or a crow will come.
That's it? A crow?
I don't know.
we never tested
I'm
it,
not going to
really.
blow it to find out in case you can only use it once.
Good point.
Well, what if you're in trouble and use it doesn't really help in the matters?
I mean, it only takes a second to whistle something.
Yep. Pop that sucker in your mouth, blow it, and keep on shooting, I guess. I don't know.
Never mind. Just never mind. I'm just gonna continue on. But
No,
yeah.
I just wanted to let you know. Just keep it a secret
Mhm.
until we know more about. I guess the best way for me to say it is until we know more about what's going on, because I think something's going on.
What do you mean? Or is this one of those we can't talk about this here moments?
No, we can talk about it here. It's actually pretty safe to talk about it here. I mean, everybody heard the story, but every tribe has a spirit that is the father of the tribe. Gaia is the mother. She is always our mother, but I guess she's got like a lot of different husbands. And my tribe comes from Grandfather Thunder. Crow is one of his people. Now, a Korax is a shifter like us, but instead of turning into a wolf, they turn into a crow or a raven. And they kind of fall under the Grandfather Thunder adjacent, I guess. So when crows start leading us, I mean, we were off doing a good mission. It's a good mission, kill the poachers. But it is a way better mission to find a lost cub and return it to its home. The crow led us there. And Crow being one of Grandfather Thunder's spirits, it definitely made me take notice. Then hearing about the Korax, I've never met one. I've never, as far as I know, I've ever seen one. I would assume they just look like us until they go into the other form, but yeah, I think the spirits are trying to tell us something and we need to figure out what it is without letting people know that we have things.
Sounds easy enough. I'll just be the Zug Zug guy and be done with it.
You're way more important than that. You'll figure it out soon.
I sure hope so. I just got my ass kicked by my cousin, so
You know, I'm actually really surprised that your cousin took that challenge
why is that?
because he is so much more powerful than you and so much higher rank than you
Mm-hmm.
that all the bets that people had on the fights stopped instantly because everybody knew who was going to win.
Well, it's to his advantage too. He challenged someone with higher rank and actually stayed up for more than 5 seconds.
Yeah, no, I mean it was, and the fact that your family is, but generally, if a person is more than one rank higher than you, it is a dishonor to actually accept the challenge. It wasn't actually a challenge. It wasn't a real challenge.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Just a
just
bit of fun.
two cousins having fun beating the living shit out of each other. I don't understand it, but to each their own.
To be honest, I don't understand it either. So this is all very new to me. So you're not alone.
Well, you like to fight, right?
I guess I do. Yeah. Well,
What is there to understand? You're doing what you like to do.
Exactly. Like I keep hearing this one dipshit behind us talking. Sorry, I want to debate this guy so bad.
Then why don't you? We're all here
If
to have
he
fun,
came
remember?
to me to do it, then I would do it. But me, with a law degree from Harvard, it's unfair. It's not honorable for me to go destroy guy from BFE that got his law degree through Telegram.
I see.
It's all about honor. I don't want to dishonor the young man. I just think that he's a moron.
Fair enough. So is there any other activities that you're going to join in?
Join in?
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of wanted to go up to the kinfolk party and see Izzy, but
Then
it's
go.
kind of nice to be down here for once and actually be somebody that somebody talks about. Not that I'm going to let it go to my head, but
You will.
it is nice. Yeah, it's going straight to my head.
Yeah, straight to your head,
Straight,
no doubt.
Alrighty.
straight to my head.
It's okay. I'm sure we'll be able to bring your ego down a little bit eventually, somehow.
Oh, well, you're only as good as your last mistake.
This
Since
is
we
true.
haven't made a mistake yet, it feels pretty good.
Oh, just wait for it. I'm sure we'll make a mistake sooner or later.
Probably tonight. You never know.
Yeah, honestly. All it takes is challenge one wrong person, then damn, we're the
Well,
shame of the deceptive.
yeah. So, I did want to ask you guys,
Hmm?
maybe we should find Laz too. Where's Laz at?
Actually, that's a good question. Where is he?
That is a good question. Where is Laz? Laz, where are you?
He's
Are
so evasive,
you
even God doesn't know where he is.
are you hanging out with the Galliards and flexing your storytelling muscles, or are you kind of off playing games with some of your Bonar pals? Somewhere you can try out your athletics? Yeah. I did mention there's a parkour race over the buildings and rooftops. And then I was also going to mention you saw some of the other Bonars kind of go down into the sewers, and they're going to have some races in there. Oh yeah, rooftops. Yeah, after your big performance, some of the Galliards pull you away, Laz, to sing your praises, and after you're pulled away for a little bit, you do see some Garou kind of jumping over the rooftops. It looks like some of the Lupus or Wolfborn Garou are kind of challenging each other with a few races in their human form.
I can see it now. Laz running across the roofs going, parkour, 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 parkour. Oh, shit. Splat.
That sounds like a neat thing to try. All right. Yeah, Laz speaking of Lupus, you do see one of the Bonars from one of the local packs. Everybody just calls him Charlie, but he's known as Rags to Stitches, and he's one of the Lupus Garou that are racing over the rooftops. But yeah, for athletics, give me just 1 second. All right, yeah. So for trying out your athletics, let's do a dexterity and athletics roll as you join the Lupus Garou and race them over the rooftops and leap from one roof to the other in your Hamid form. All right, so that's a 10. So I believe that's 2 successes because that's a crit. You know what? Let's do 2 more rolls like that and play it off as like there's 3 parts of the race. So for the first stretch is basically the climb up, and basically everybody starts scrambling for footholds and handholds in this 3-beat heat. So if you want, go ahead and roll 2 more times, and then I'll just narrate based on how many successes you get. And that's going to be a difficulty 6. So anything above or matching a 6 is a success. Alright, so for the first stretch you got 2 successes. The first stretch is basically the climb up onto the rooftops as you and 4 other Garou scramble for footholds and handholds to climb up this brick building. And you are one of the first to reach the top as you get a critical, and you manage to basically claw your way up onto the rooftop, and you have a decent head start. And as you reach the second part, it's a series of long and short jumps as you're leaping over one rooftop over the next. And since this is in the Umbra, you're also dodging these spider spirits, as one of them is patching up some roof damage from the Umbra storm, and you watch as the person that's just a little bit ahead of you trips over a spirit and ends up almost falling off the building, and they end up falling behind the tail end of the racers as everybody's jumping over and dodging around them, trying not to also trip over a spirit. And the final stretch is the descent down. As you reach the last building, it's a pretty tall building, and there isn't a easy way down, but with 5 successes, you're able to find basically a water, like a rain drainage pipe, and you hook a hand around that and slide your way down, as the other racers they stop at the edge trying to find an easy way down. 1 or 2 of them try to copy what you do, but they end up losing their grip and get slowed down as they fall and have to take a moment to gather themselves, but you're already far ahead in the lead, and you reach the finish line. And great job, Laz, you beat a bunch of wolves at a foot race. And as you reach the finish line, you see Adrian, Isaac, and Heath waiting for you.
I didn't know he could do shit like that.
It's pretty fleet-footed.
That motherfucker's going on the roof from here on out.
He may be the more talented of the 4 of us, to be honest.
It depends on what it is. We all have our talents. Hey, pretty good job out there.
And Laz is panting and catching his breath as he looks up and says, "Oh, hi guys."
It Laz just winning the night.
Hey,
I think it's
that's
great.
a good name.
Winning the night?
Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of works. That is a good name.
I personally have never been good at names, so just take what I hear.
Problem is, I see Laz picking up a cocaine problem and looking like Charlie Sheen and everybody. What's your name? He just says winning.
Hey,
Jesus. No.
got eggs?
By the way, you want some cocaine gum that I have in my pocket?
No, I'm good. I'm already unlocked them.
Oh, you okay?
I'm gonna go back and debate that guy. I'm sorry, you guys. That dude is an idiot. I gotta
Okay, bye.
Damn, I should have made a bet. I knew he
5
was gonna
minutes.
last.
5 minutes. Whatever the guy was talking about, I don't know. I just made it up off the cuff. But Adrian's gonna go back and debate with some philodoxes.
Should we go and watch? So, like, it's
Do
gonna go
you
right away.
really want to stand there and watch two people argue with each
I
other
can
for the
take
next
care of
5
laundry,
minutes
you know,
in a
it's
very
like-
polite and well-mannered tone?
Oh, okay.
You think it'll be 5 minutes?
I'm
Okay.
giving him 3 minutes.
gotcha.
Good point. If there's no
2
fist
minutes.
fight at the end, and it's just the fist fight at the end of this
Mhm.
talk, then I'm not into it.
I highly doubt it.
Okay. Well,
Although I do need a good nap, so I suppose either way.
well,
If
I'll
you want,
be around except
telling
for when
you,
I'm at
you're
work,
definitely
so-
gonna end up dozing off. Personally, I think they all talk too much.
Let us support
Okay, I will.
our leader. I thought you already.
Be my guest. He's just motioning them on.
Sounds about right.
Isaac has no interest in actively listening to somebody's debate.
I'm sorry, guys. I got pulled away for like 2 minutes.
It's alright.
okay.
What were you guys talking about? I had to take off my headphones.
They're talking about how Laz is winning in life.
Yeah, he's going with talented
And then they thought about maybe that should be his name, Winning the Night.
Oh, I heard that part, but what came after it, I didn't hear.
He couldn't help himself. He's gonna go debate some idiot.
Adrian's gonna go debate. He can't help it. He's like, this dude's an idiot. He's gotta go down.
So, he's gonna follow him to be quote unquote supportive, which is not gonna end well, honestly.
Yeah, let's say this guy being stupid is maybe some like up and coming Cleeth philodox, probably making some kind of like outrageous point or something. Mish, if you want, I'll let you pick the topic.
Jeez. Well, we'll make it about litany law.
I'm sorry, what was that?
We'll make it about litany law, of course. I'm trying to pick one that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's probably something about the litany.
They're bone gnars, right?
Most of them are bonars.
What would you say the idiot is? All right. The big argument, which is usually the big argument amongst philodoxes, is the part of the litany about the elders, letting them kill themselves. And a lot of people think that they should keep their eldest alive, even though they're a burden on society and what else and whatnot. And Adrian's just going to pretty much prove that Adrian himself should have been left to die at a young age. Basically is what he's going to fight into it and be. But that's the topic of the litany. He just doesn't like it when idiots sit there and try and give stupid excuses as to why the elderly should be kept alive. So just in case everybody thought he was good, Adrian's talking about bumping off grandma.
Alright, yeah, let's say this bonar Cleeth is arguing that, we should tend to the elderly Garou, because probably something along the lines of, we need every Garou we can have, and killing the elderly deprives the nation of their wisdom and experience in battle. So for this, let's make it let's do charisma and law, since it's about the litany.
Alrighty. This poor child is hopefully not going to see what's coming. Advanced dice roller. That is a shit roll.
Oh no.
A shit roll.
Oh dear.
Adrian's stumbling over himself now.
Yeah, let's. I'm just gonna pick a number that sounds pretty average for a Cleith to have. Holy shit, he knocks you out of the
Oh my
ballpark.
God!
Isaac actually starts to pay attention.
Yeah, so like you try to butt into the debate, and the tone shifts from like playful, okay, let's try our arguments out on each other, to like a serious debate, and this Cleith gets on top of his little soapbox and just completely schools Adrian on why we should keep our Garou elders alive, because their experience is valuable in our fight against the worm in all of its forms. And, maybe part of it is that the little, like, kind of mock audience is maybe mostly Bonar, but they're all on his side, and you even start to believe, like, hey, maybe we should keep our elders alive.
You know what? In fact,
Maybe the Geta
to end
Fenris
it,
are wrong.
to end it, Adrian's going to say you are right. We should keep our elders alive. As I am incredibly rich, I can afford to feed them while you guys are going to be shoving food into something that tells you stories all day long. I mean, they take just as many calories as a normal working person. They take space, they take money. I've got money, so you're right. I shouldn't have killed my father. I should have let him grow old. Thank you for teaching me. And now Adrian has a new view on the... Wow, that was a shit roll. Followed by a really good roll.
Sometimes it happens. He'll have his chance. He'll have another
Redemption.
debate with the same dude next time.
Redemption.
Yeah, next debate, considering both our ideals, it'll probably be about why Garou should mate with other Garou, with
Oh boy.
with Adrian arguing against.
Oh, no. No. There is no argument there. They could try that one till they're blue in the face. There is no argument. Adrian's side on that is it's against the law. There is no talking me out of it. If you do it, I will kill you. Period. I don't care what your views are on it. I will fucking kill you. Yeah, some things you can't argue. Keeping the elderly alive, some guys like their grandmas. It's cool. That was a shit roll. Oh my god. That's what I get for talking shit.
Is there anything that Isaac wants to get up to?
Nothing that really comes to mind, mostly because he'd be a little, even though it is the Ember, everything seems to be cool. The stuff going on with Storm and the fact of the veil being really thin, and Wraith like to try to attach himself or attach them to himself when he's in the Umbra. Yeah, he's pretty much keeping an eye out on that kind of stuff. But if there happens to be a situation where they're having a shooting contest, that's a different story. He might be distracted enough to do something like that.
I almost completely forgot about the veil being thin. That's my bad.
That's all right. That's fine.
In fact, maybe they should go back into the regular realm and join the kinfolk party just to be a little bit further away from the spirits for Isaac. They showed their face around the Garou. They, the new pack, Maybe it's time we kick rocks since we have a silent strider. And they were going to talk about some stuff still, too.
I mean,
But
if it's
then-
suggested, Isaac will tell him to stay. Don't leave on account of him. He can take care of himself.
No way, yeah, but we can talk in both places, and as long as it's safer there, then why wouldn't we talk there?
Good point.
Lawyered.
Like, hey, now don't you start the debating shit with me.
Lawyered.
So, as predicted, by the end of the debate, you see Heath just fell asleep standing upwards.
Isaac shoves his shoulder.
After the debate, Isaac shoves his shoulder and Adrian pops him on the chest and says, "So that's it. That's it. That guy actually talked me into it."
Oh,
The pack can no longer drink alcohol. That is exactly what he talked me into. No
And then,
smoking, no alcohol, no whoring,
and then,
no gambling.
and then he leans at Laszlo like, "You talking about up to the first minute?" Great, sure. I'm good with tea. Sure, I got my cocaine gum, so it's okay. It's not drugs. It's a candy.
I'm sorry, I cracked up a little bit at that.
Um, so yeah, they'll go back into the regular world, and to break the new rule, they'll stop by the Rising Sun, grab some alcohol for anybody that wants it, and then they'll go walk out. And as they're walking towards the party, as long as they're in the quiet, Adrian's going to talk with them about some business and say, okay, I want to get something straight. Maybe I misunderstand some things. I've never seen a wraith before, but when this shit happens, Isaac, do the dead normally dig themselves out of the ground?
No, that is different.
No, that's Book of Revelations shit. End of the world.
Could be. I mean, I've heard
Get
stories
The Get
from.
call it Ragnarok. The
I've
Fianna
heard,
call it the last party.
I
I
swear.
don't know what they call it. Go
I've
ahead.
heard stories from elders of my tribe. They've seen the dead walking back in home.
Egypt.
But other than that, I've
What are you
never
talking
personally-
like vampire?
No,
or
I mean
different?
like the dead coming back and walking around.
How did that happen? Do they know? Does it still happen? I guess they wouldn't know. You can't go home. Fuck.
No, I can't go home.
I'm sorry.
Nah,
I didn't
never
mean it
really
like
knew the
that,
place
man.
anyway.
I didn't mean it like that. I just answering my own question. All right, so now we got the poacher, we got the kids at the school, and now something's acting wrong here, right here in home where the Karen is. I think it's going to be a bit before we can go get the Uktena children, because if we've got people clawing themselves out of their own graves, we might want to take a look at that. I don't know if anybody else really is.
Might have been because of the storm. I mean, all we can really do at that point is just help defend.
Yeah.
And as you guys are talking, as the day continues on and the moot kind of leads into the evening, you do notice that the moon is like this blood red color, and on the physical side, at least, when you stop by the Rising Sun, there are a few of the Thurges and Moon's Shadow kind of debating what it means exactly. The overall impression is that there's a lot of uncertainty whether it's an omen of something to come or just something left over from the storm itself.
Okay. They're kind of standing around talking. He doesn't want to walk too much in case somebody gets close by. But as they're conversing about the spirits and stuff, he looks up at this guy. I'm sure he would have heard about it. He's still thinking about the ghosts. He said, "Yeah, it could be. It could be a leftover from the storm, and I wouldn't discount it. But same thing with the moon, right? You ever
Never would.
Shadow Lords had this kind of belief that shit happens, and sometimes after the fact, you can just allow shit that happened to be for a reason that you designed. Does this make sense?
Somewhat.
The night is the first night, even though we've been together for what 2 weeks almost. The night is the first night we have actually been recognized as a group. So tonight is the night that our pack, if we decide to have a pack, forms. The blood moon is for us. It's our pack. Maybe it's a sign, maybe it's not. If we decide it's a sign, 2 months, 2 weeks, 2 years, who's going to tell us we're wrong?
Has a kind of a nice ring to it. What do you guys think? He glances over to Heath and Laz.
Maybe. Just something about this doesn't feel right. I don't have voodoo abilities like Isaac or knowledge like Adrian, but I don't know, my gut's telling me there's something's not right, and I don't know.
Is your gut telling you that you're the one that should fix it?
If we don't do it, then who will at this
Who
point?
will, right?
Because...
So we take the blood moon, we make it ours.
Okay.
We just name the pack. Just name it Blood Moon anything. Blood Moon's Vengeance. If you guys like, we can go with something we can go with that. We can go with something like that. I
We'll
mean,
figure it out.
I
Yeah.
like the fact that we make decisions together, but if we don't have a pack name soon, you guys are always going to be known as Adrian's people. I'd rather the pack be noticed as the pack, not that you guys are under my leadership. They'll know I'm the leader, the alpha of the pack, but we'll be able to go by a name instead of always being associated with me. I don't know. Maybe it's a sign that we should stick together and keep on going. That's what I think.
Yeah, I think so too. We got a lot of work to do.
Sure.
Best to just do it all together.
I think we work great together.
I
What do
think
you
so.
think, Laz?
I'm gonna let Laz finish typing
Mm-hmm.
before I read what he says. And Laz says, definitely a good idea. Spirits do like to give out signs, don't they?
I think they do, but half the people think that people that see signs from spirits are madmen. I guess it just depends on what camp you fall under.
Then it's decided then. We'll look into this, and Heath points at the moon, all this, and hopefully we find something out.
Okay. Do you think we should go out and continue to look for the man that hired the poachers, or should we investigate around town before we leave again? What do you think, Isaac?
Investigate what exactly?
Why the dead might have been rising?
I'm not sure if anybody around here knows, but we can always ask. But they have enough people here to defend if they do rise again. What's more important than what the poachers are getting the kids back?
Getting the kids back is getting the kids back is going to be very involved, and it won't really help to bring the kids back if all the bison are being killed and our new friends can't feed those kids. So
So I guess we gotta look for the poachers first.
find the man that's hiring the poachers. Then we'll focus on the kids, and we'll see what if anything has happened over the course of the blood moon or the raising of the dead.
Sounds good.
God damn, you know what, Laz? I owe you a drink. I'm still in shock. I can't. That was amazing.
You did pretty well, Laszlo. Thank you. I have still no fucking clue what this all means really, but thank you for the story. It was very entertaining.
Basically means your name's out there now amongst the Garou. You're no longer a faceless nobody.
It means we have deeds that we've done,
Mm-hmm.
and they are sung about.
And Laz says, "Oh, thank you. I just told what all of you did."
Oh, you were there too. You did it also.
Oh man, as long as I don't get named after chasing turkeys, I'll be fine.
Oh, it's tempting.
Huh?
Being named after chasing turkeys.
Oh, turkey chaser.
Oh, since it came up, Laz, did you want to take Wedding the Night as your deed name? Just an out-of-character question. The way it came up kind of sound like how these names come up. Yeah, that's usually how it goes. I just wanted to ask before I, made it official in any capacity. But yeah, we'll say, as, the group of you are, standing around and talking and discussing things, a word is probably spreading around about Laz's victory in that race, and we'll see like other Galliards are starting to call him Winning the Night as his deed name.
You ripped me off. I've been plagiarized.
And then Laz, if you change your mind or decide that Laz wants to go by something else, we can retcon that or roleplay it out.
You can always do another deed and get the name from that too.
Oh yeah, that too.
You can have more than one deed name. Like pretty soon Adrian's going to be known as Rolls Like Shit.
Well, it's like the bait's like shit. It's in the world.
Can't roll worth the shit.
But yeah, word is spreading around the Moot about Laz's, like, not only his amazing performance that everybody saw, but his victory in the race, and people are starting to call him Wedding the Night.
Nice. I'll be right back, like 2 minutes.
Oh, for sure.
I think he's letting the dog out.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
So here's what I'm thinking. Take a couple more days, get a few things done, do whatever you have to do around town visit the parents or your cousin or whatever, and 3 days we ride out, start looking for the poachers.
Sounds like a plan.
That gives me time to get some things done.
So is Laz looking to get like an award or something for his deeds today, or something like that?
You asking in character or out of character?
Let's go in character that way because he still doesn't know.
We all are. The nation is run by rank. Like Isaac and I are Fosterns, the second rank. Your cousin's the third rank.
Hmm.
When Laszlo sings or writes a poem or an epic ballad about what we do, it gets him renowned, it gets us renowned, it's how we get seen in the nation. And if we ever want to rise in rank, we have to do it. The thing is that spirits are tied to the nation, so they won't teach you more powerful gifts until you've achieved a certain rank. Now, I don't know about Isaac, but I might have a gift that you guys wouldn't be able to have access to because you don't have enough rank to get it.
Okay.
All right, and then as the evening goes on, the party starts to kind of simmer down a little bit, and yeah, that's the moot. That's what I had prepared.
Yay! We survived our first
Nice.
moot.
Heath barely didn't.
It's okay. I got my bones broken with pride.